I guess I should pay attention to what's going on. So welcome to the December edition of What's New in the Library. This month I thought we would look all through the library and see what books we can find about, well, Christmas. So I dug up all kinds of great stuff. We have tons of books in the library about Christmas. So I'm coming to you live from my family room because clearly this is what my house looks like. And I'm going to tell you all about the books we have in the library for Christmas. So this first one is in the Horse Diaries series, and this one's called Jingle Bells. Now, if you haven't checked out the Horse Diaries series, it's a series we got in that is new this year, and they're all about different horses and the things that go on in their lives, and this is the Christmas version. So if you like horses, check out Jingle Bells. Now, what if you have a little brother or sister at home who likes Christmas? You could totally check out The Polar Express and take it home and read it to them. So this book is in our everybody section underneath the award book. So if you want to check out The Polar Express, you can. We also have a whole series of books in the nonfiction section on what Christmas is like in other countries. So this one happens to be Christmas in Mexico, but we have Christmas in Greece and Christmas in Italy. We have all kinds of them. So you can stop in and find out what it's like to celebrate Christmas in other countries. We have A Christmas Carol, which is the story of Ebenezer Scrooge, and this is the everybody book, and we also have the audiobook. We also have it in graphic novel even. So if you're interested in reading about Scrooge and A Christmas Carol, you can do it in 3 different versions in our library this December. We also have some great versions of The Night Before Christmas. This one is the regular version of The Night Before Christmas, but we also have the cowboy one and the Cajun one. So if you want to read that, you can. We also have lots of good books for figuring out how to make Christmas gifts for people you might know. Like this one is the Christmas Craft book, all about kind of fun, cool crafts you can make for cheap for great gifts for your family. We also have Christmas All Through the House, which is more ideas for different things you can make, also things you can cook. And then we have this one called Gifts from the Christmas Kitchen. And this one is all about yummy treats you can make for people. So this is just a few of the great books that we have in our library to help you get in the Christmas spirit. There's one more I want to talk to you about, and it's called The Christmas Barn. This one is a realistic fiction book about a girl whose family has a terrible tragedy right before Christmas. It's really a historical fiction, but it's in our purple section. So it takes place during the Great Depression. And there's this major thing that happens, and her house suffers and her family suffers, and her whole family has to pull together in order to be able to have a Christmas. So we do have books, regular books, in our fiction section too. So stop in by the library and find a good book to read to get in the Christmas spirit. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to curl up on my couch and read.
Hi, I'm Bailey and I'm in 5th grade, and I read all 3 of these books, PSB 11, One Crazy Summer, and Gone Crazy in Alabama, and they're all about Black history, and if you don't read them in order, they're a lot confusing, and they're just really cool books.
It's Logan Griggs. I am in 5th grade, and I'm reviewing the book of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. The main character is Graf Heffley, and he's living his normal life, and then his mom says that they're going on a trip, and then they go to a lot of places, and then they go to this carnival and enter a trip, and they enter the baby in it, and he wins a little pig, and then whenever they leave, they go to a hotel to stay, and when they do, they thought it was a nice hotel because what the outside looked like, but when they went in, the whole place had burn marks on it, and the rug was all teared up. And then, so they had to put the pig inside of a wagon to do it, and then you'll have to read the ending to find out.
New books in our action and adventure section this month. This one is Duke. It's about a boy whose father is fighting in World War II, and so he donates his dog to the cause to help with the war, and he immediately regrets it and wants his dog back. But when he finds out that his dad has been taken hostage as a prisoner of war, he decides to let Duke go, and it's the story of the dog fighting in the war. Absolutely great book. Tunnel Vision. This one is about a boy who, when he touches objects, he can see where the owner is and what they're doing. He has to keep it a secret because if the government knew he had this power, they would not use it for good things. Well, naturally, somebody finds out, and so a lot of action, adventure, and survival in this one. Lost. This is book 2 in the Shipwreck Island series by S.A. Bodine. We've got the newest book in the Stay Alive series. This is book 4, Flood. And Dan vs. Nature, a hilarious book about a boy who hates the great outdoors, and his mom sends him out to bond with his soon-to-be stepdad, and the boy and his best friend decide to do anything they can to run this guy off. So it's full of pranks and funny things. Great book, Dan vs. Nature. Mystery section this month has some new books. This one is The Ghost of Fossil Glen. It's about a girl who's being followed and stalked by a ghost. Flashes is the story of a girl named Charlie who kind of has visions about crimes that are happening, and she works together with a policeman to help solve them. 13 Days of Midnight is about a boy who becomes possessed by a bunch of spirits just before Halloween and has to figure out how to get all the spirits to chill out and get out of him. Kind of a creepy, scary one on this one. Definitely very scary. And Perdita, which is the story of a girl who witnesses her sister's best friend's drowning, and the ghost keeps stalking her. You'll notice this one is also young adult. New in romance this month, we have The Replacement Crush, about a girl whose crush breaks her heart, and she decides she's going to find a replacement, someone who won't hurt her as bad. And The Year We Fell Apart, a very sad romance book that'll bring some tears to your eyes, a lot like The Fault in Our Stars. And a new romance trilogy that starts with The Heat of the Moment. And the newest book from Casey West, The Fill-In Boyfriend. 9 new books from the Fred Bowen series about sports. Narrative nonfiction. This book is called I Will Always Write Back, and it's the story of how a school assignment to write to someone in a faraway land led to a pen pal friendship between a girl in America and a boy in Africa. Very cool story. This one is The Untold History of the United States. It's basically the entire history of the United States from 1898 to 1945, written in words you can understand and written like a story. Jack and Jack, the story of YouTubers Jack Linsky and Jack Johnson. Lincoln Spy Master. This is about the guy who was a detective and found out all the different ways that people were trying to kill Abraham Lincoln so that he could keep the president safe. And finally, Breakthrough. This is an amazing book about a black scientist who figured out a way to save babies who were dying of a heart defect. And most people at the hospital he worked at thought he was the janitor, because at this point in history, black people were not allowed the same rights as white people. So it's the amazing story of how that man was able to save tons of babies' lives without anyone knowing it. Tragedy in Dallas, the story of the assassination of JFK. Moving on to new comedy this month, we have a new series. It starts with this one, How to Outrun a Crocodile When Your Shoes Are Untied. We also have the first book in Henry Hubble's Book of Troubles. We have some add-ons to some series that came in this month. Book 5 in the Charlie Joe Jackson series is in. Diary of a Wimpy Kid Book 11 came in. And the second book in the Weird Chicken series is also here. And books 5 and 6 in the Zombie Chasers series. New graphic novels this month. We have book 3 in the March series, a graphic novel series about the civil rights movement. Baba Yaga's Assistant and Big Nate Thunka Thunka Thunka. And we finally got in Ghost by Raina Telgemeier. Flirty Dancing is about some serious drama surrounding a dance competition that comes to some kids' school. All the Bright Places is about a girl named Violet who was about to kill herself when a boy named Finch stepped in and saved her. The Secret Language of Sisters. This is a phenomenal new book that just came in. It's about a girl who answers a text message while driving and ends up crashing her car and is completely paralyzed. Everyone believes she's in a coma, but in reality she has locked-in syndrome. She can't move, she can't talk, she can't walk, but she can hear and take in everything around her. She's trapped in her body. And so her sister gets involved, and it's kind of about them trying to figure out how to heal everyone involved with what happens when you answer a text when you're driving. And finally, Guitar Notes, the story of 2 kids who write back and forth inside of a band practice room, and they write notes back and forth to each other on opposite days, forming a friendship and challenging each other to write songs and become more involved in their music. In our realistic fiction section this month, we have The Truth About Twinkie Pie, about 2 girls who won a cooking contest and get to move out of the trailer park into the big city. The Hero, 2 Doors Down, is about a boy in a very white neighborhood in the 1940s when Jackie Robinson moves into his neighborhood and he gets to live next door to the man who broke the color barrier in baseball. How to Say I Love You Out Loud is about a girl whose autistic brother moves to her school and she is determined to hide it from everyone else that is her brother. And so it's kind of her story of coming to terms with who her family really is. Under a Painted Sky is the story of two girls who disguise themselves as boys and travel west on the Oregon Trail. Definitely a lot of adventure and survival happening in this one. Also a little bit of love. Nerve. This book is the book that a new major movie coming out was based on. This is the story of a girl who gets involved in a dare game show where you have to complete the dares, and she gets in way over her head. We also got in Love and Other Foreign Words. In science fiction this month, we got book 8 in the Gone series. This is Redeemed. And we got a new science fiction book called Meltdown Town, about a town that no one can enter because of a nuclear disaster, and when two girls start investigating it, they find out there might actually be people there. A new nonfiction series about gross things. There's 6 books total. And we finally got the Guinness World Record Books 2017. Hey guys, a quick reminder about ebooks in the library. We added 5 new ebooks recently, so if you haven't gotten on and downloaded the ebook app, and if you aren't reading ebooks for free from your library on your phone or tablet, you should be. In late November, early December, we got in, let me just check my list here, we got El Defo on ebook, Flora and Ulysses, and we got the rest of the Testing series, so we have that whole trilogy on ebook now. And we got a great new science fiction book called Life as We Knew It. So we got 5 new ebooks in just a few weeks ago. So if you haven't stopped by the note holder outside the library, there's an orange paper that tells you how to download the app. It's a free app, and you can do everything you need to do to read the ebook on there. So get to reading on your device whenever you can. Well, that does it for the December edition of What's New in the Library. I hope you found something great to read this month. I'll see you after the break.